Buddy, and I know that I have Bill who started um, just a few weeks ago. So this is what I do for the online workshop. When people sign up, then of course the website would have a list of students with their email address. And what I did is I added kind of like a optional Zoom chat, which is only half an hour. As of now, is every first Saturday, so people can ask me questions in case like if they don't feel comfortable typing on an email, or maybe they want to see something in actions, and the video is not good enough, or things like that. Oh, hi. So this is how we're going to do this, and okay. So I will be continually touching the screen to let people join. But for today, I usually ask people, do you have any questions for me ahead of time? Because, for example, last time someone wanted to see how to do the turn pedal of the rose, so I did that. And then for today, I have a questions on, talk a little bit more about loading the brush. So I have kind of like something that I would do a little bit of illustration, but I know that because it's only like 11:02, I want to give people a little bit of time in case, like they are joining in a little bit late. I don't want, because I only have two, it's hard to, repeat that over and over again. So we will wait a little bit and we'll talk about loading the brush. But do you guys have any other questions or things to share? And this is also another opportunities if you want to share your homework. We have done that before, that people would just hold up their artwork and put it to the screen so other students can see. One thing that I did is, because my online course is per subject, so you may not, you may have joined the Pomo workshop, but not the flower workshop or not the landscape workshop. But then, I give it to all the students to join the Zoom. So you may have students that, focus on flowers or focus on fish, and it may be a nice thing to see. But of course, you can join as many workshops as you can as well. And I do have students that sign up for more than one workshop. So and then I thought about it, and what I did is I do not record the Zoom using the Zoom recording, because it's for the privacy of the students. Because sometimes when you're talking, then your face is on the screen, and some people may not feel comfortable that it's on YouTube. So what I did is I actually set up another camera. We were just on my, facing what you have seen in the screen, this and my face. And because of that, unlike Zoom that I can focus on, this is how I load the brush, I'll actually hold the thing up to the screen so you can see it, because then the camcorder can see it as well. All right. So let's wait maybe another like 5 more minutes before we talk about loading the brush. But do I have any questions from any of you?
Now, my question was on pasting, so we can. What paste do you use?
Oh,
when you add the backing?
Yeah, I didn't bring it up. Is the one that I use for backing is actually from Linco, Lineco, and I think it's made in America. Is a like pH balance or pH neutral paste for paper, and I've been using that. And of course, you know that it's kind of like the secret sauce. If you go to various teachers, they all have their secret sauce. Some of them are using, in the olden times, some of them are using, okay, let me see. Okay, some of them are using wallpaper glue. Like I'm talking about 20 years ago. They are using wallpaper glue, but of course people don't do wallpaper in their interior design anymore. But they are buying wallpaper paste, add water to it, make it into a paste just like wallpaper paste, and then they use it. I have heard that. I have also heard various artists are just using wheat flour, not rice flour, but wheat flour, and pure wheat flour. And what you have to do is you have to cook it. You cannot just put water and wheat flour and make it into a paste. That would not work. You actually have to bring it to the stove. And basically is the wheat paste, like the wheat flour, and then water, and put it in a little saucepan, bring it to the heat, And of course, just like cooking, when you heat flour with water, they thicken. So they will thicken into a paste. And of course, you have to watch. You don't want to burn it. And and then you also, when it becomes kind of translucent color, because when you first dilute it, it's kind of like a white milky color. You cook it and it become a translucent color. After it's no longer hot, then you can use it. So people have been using wheat flour. They have been using wallpaper paste, and I also have artists use various kind of glue, and I even have artists use almond glue that diluted. I do not do that. There is also a glue called Yes, and I have a student who swear that it works and is really good. So I have not used that. If you do not mind, I can rush down to my basement and bring the 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 jar that I have, which is Linko. Tell you what, while we're waiting for other people to join, I just rush down to my basement and then bring that up, so you can see how it looks like. Okay, one more.
Are Marie's colors?
I do not use marines that much, but then I have to say that especially artists who are educated and grew up in China and learned sumi-e in China, Marie is the brand that they use, and as I say, because I don't use it that much, I cannot swear by how good or bad, or I cannot really assess it that much. But then I do know that when it comes to watercolor, if you go to the science of watercolor, it's the pigment portion and the glue portions that mix it together, so the pigment can be on top of the paper, and then the pigment, of course, with for very high quality watercolors, especially if you have joined the, for example, like some manufacturer, they have workshop or seminars to explain the quality of their pigment. For example, Daniel Smith do have, workshop around the country to explain to the artists, what kind of pigment and what kind of mineral do they devise their paint from. For those, really high quality watercolor, the pigment is the pigment, it's kind of like industrial standard, like for red, it have to be certain minerals and things like that. And then on the more student grade, they use synthetic material that create a similar coloration. And of course, you really want the higher quality pigment. So that's that. And then another element is yellowing, fading. A lot of times is on the glue portion, whether the gum that hold the pigments together, whether they yellow over time, or have discoloration, oxidation, or things over time, and whether their composition, because they are naturally they are glue, so would they have certain qualities that with aging, with oxidation, with other chemical reaction and things like that would hurt the artwork itself, or cause deterioration, or like the bugs like to eat it, things like that. And so if you look at like how good is a watercolor, it really depend on, first of all, what kind of quality of pigment do they use. Are they synthetic or are they natural pigment? And of course, if they are from really precious minerals, because I was in a workshop by Daniel Smith, and they were talking about various colors that have a shine to it. And the reason is because they are actually from gems, semi-precious stones. And they really grind the semi-precious stone into the pigment. And of course, it's pricey because you're basically having that. But then that is not something that is new. People have been doing it for centuries. If you look into various documentations of what people are doing in the Renaissance, what people are doing in China thousands of years ago, like pearls. If you want a certain kind of shine that is in pearls, artists have been grinding real pearls in order to paint pearls on a painting. And that is true in the Western culture, and also true in the Eastern culture as well. We have story about grinding pearls to do the ornaments, to do the various things for flowers, various things for especially to decorate a painting of a dignitary or a diplomat that has really decorated outfit and decorated hairpiece. They do grind pearls to to do that as well. So it's the pigment itself and also the quality of the glue. What kind of gum, what kind of binding agent do they use? And I did not go really into, you know, what are the compositions of a particular brand of paint. But then my understanding is a lot of artists who are educated, their basic sumi education were in China for the last 30, 50 years. I think their color tubes of choice is marine because that's you know, like most handy for them to buy, is because it's locally produced from their country. So you know, you may want to talk to them to see if they have any negative or positive comments on that. Yeah. Okay, I got the ones that I use. This is Linco. I mean, they may look different because sometimes they change packagings, but the company is Linco, and it's the same one. I mean, this may be an older one, all right? Yeah, and these are the one that I bring for workshops because they also come in like a whole gallon, and the consistency is actually quite similar to almond glue. When I use it, I dissolve equal part of the glue and water, make it more kind of movable, and then I use it. I mean, one thing that I really like is pH balance, pH neutral. So and then depending on which one you're looking for, you know, like they're all from Linco. I mean, I have 3 different ones, and but these are the one that I use. Okay, but then I'm not, you know, like talking about endorsement or things like that because I'm not you know, a spokesman of any of this. But this is the one that I use. All right. Okay. Now I think we have enough students, so let's talk about loading of the brush. I have someone who asked me about loading of the brush, and I think all of you kind of like the basic theory is you have the brush, you wet the whole brush. So don't use a dry brush onto the color. You wet the whole brush. So, and then after that, you must take most of the water out when you are painting flowers or even painting landscape. Okay, take most of the water out. So you have a kind of like a moist, a wet brush. Okay, and then it's always the same theory: light, medium, dark. All right. So, for example, you know, like I have some kind of like some sample here. So this is the first thing we do. Okay, let's see. So the first thing is nothing more than just wet the brush. Okay, just have the whole brush wet, right? And then the second one is the light color, and it really depends on what kind of light you're looking at. For example, you know, let's do the simplest one, which is, you know, I have yellow, right? Yellow. And then I have the mid-tone, which is the medium color, and I have orange, you know, like a carmine, or orange carmine. And then the dark is a red, right? So I have a red, right? A red. So, so after you have wet the brush, okay, let me just do this. Okay, after you wet the brush, take most of it out. I usually just glide it to the side of the container. Just take most of the water out, right? And if you really want it drier, you can also use a plotting paper and just tap, 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 you know, just tap, 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 just get some of the water out. So you don't want it to be dripping, because if it is dripping, like with water drop coming down, it cannot absorb much of anything. All right, so you want to take most of the water out. All right, and then the first one is my light color. All right, so here. So when I'm doing is the light color, I usually say the entire brush. But when I say entire brush, it's not all the way to here. It's kind of like the majority of the brush, right? So when you are actually getting the color, you put the brush here and then you turn it around, and you may even work it. Meaning that you put the brush onto the paint and let it absorb the light color, right? And then of course, you know, like before you do the medium color, you do the same thing here. Glide a little bit so the excess paint can go out. Okay, glide a little bit, right? So you have yellow. Now the second color is medium. All right, medium is my orange, my carmine. All right, so I am doing if this is the whole brush, this will be either 2/3 or half, depending on what I'm painting. All right. So I'll probably say maybe half. Right. And mind you, the yellow is already here. I'm going to add the yellow a little bit later. But then the second is this, because you already have the yellow here. Right? So the whole brush is yellow, and then the medium is halfway. And the same thing here when, okay, all right. So on the medium one, when you have half of it, let me just do this. Okay. You see here, this is the whole brush yellow, and then half is orange. All right. Let me show it here too. Okay. The whole brush is yellow, and then half of it is orange. All right. So you have half, and now it's the dark color. Okay. Dark color, a lot of times, although we say that maybe 1/3, but it really depends on what you are painting. A lot of times, with you sign up for my, I believe, in the flower painting workshop, the sunflower, the poppies, the roses, even on the goldfish one, when I do the dark color, it's not really 1/3 of it. It's basically a touch. Especially when I'm doing the demo, when I have the dishes on the side next to the demo piece, I just, when I'm loading the brush, you can see it. It's just a touch. So here, like my dark is red, all right, red, here, red. So instead of doing 1/3, I basically just use the tip of the brush and just touch it. Touch it like that, all right? So it's here. Okay. So by doing that, you are ready to paint. And if you want something that have a darker touch, sometimes I will do a black ink or something really intense on the tip. And let me just show you this. Okay. So here we have yellow all the way on the entire brush. And then we have orange halfway. Okay. And we can have the red here, or we can just do it here. All right. This could be what you want to, meaning that it's not 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, but whole brush, 1/3 or half, and then just on the tip, just a touch. All right. So any questions on this before I go on? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I did not use the other camera because this is not really a Zoom class. What I did is I'm using another camcorder, and that's why if I do the other camera, the camcorder would not be able to capture the other portion. All right. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, so that's good. All right. And since I have one more. Usually I'll do light, medium, dark, and my preference is light, medium, and then the dark on, like just the tip, not the 1/3 of the brush. But this is for flower. If you want to do ink, you can have light ink, medium ink, dark ink. And for leaves, a lot of times I don't have light, medium, dark. What I do is, for example, I want to paint leaves, and I would have, of course, the first thing is water, right? So it's just water. And the second one is I would put either blue or green. It's up to you, because you may want some green tone leaves. Sometimes blue tone is very nice too. So I would have a blue, and this is the blue. And then if I'm doing this, I'll just go into it, and go into the whole brush. All right, so meaning that is here, the whole brush. So let me just do this. Okay, I'll go to the whole brush, but I will do my ink because the leaf is actually black, and I will touch half of it. All right. Okay. Half of it. Right. Okay, that would be good enough for my leaves. Okay, blue and then black. But the things that, because the blue and the black doesn't have a transitions, so what is essential is you must have a mixing plate, and before you touch the paper, you must mix it to make sure the transitions from the black to the blue is natural. Meaning that this is how you load it, but then before you paint, it should look like this. It should look light, medium, dark, but with a nice transitions, all right? And you have to have that before you start painting, because otherwise your leaves may have light and black. I mean, like meaning this strict color change will actually show on the leaf instead of graduating change, and you don't want that. All right. So that's kind of the trick. All right. Do you have any more questions or comments, or anybody have any artwork to share with the fellow classmates?
I have one on my phone. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it was a Pomo sky, and then I just did a. You see
Oh,
that?
okay. Oh,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
I
yeah.
did some green foliage at the bottom. Kind of has a funky. But
I like
love
it.
the metallic green,
Mm-hmm.
and that really helped. Oh, it just faded. It just helped to bring out the variations in the foreground. So
Is it like a
Pomo
silver board?
really. Excuse me.
Is it on a silver board?
That one was yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm having a lot of fun with that. Board.
Thank you, thank you. I mean, it's fun. I mean, Pomo is always fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a half an hour thing. I have 6 more minutes. So last time I talked about little containers for chips. So this time I bought these samples. These are just little containing dishes. You can put the different colors in it. But the only thing is they are not really airtight. So it's nice to contain them, so it's covered. But then if you don't attend to it, say for example a week later or 2 weeks later when you paint again, they will still dry up. So you still need to use a little bit of spray bottle to spray on it and things like that. But then this is the smaller one, and I also have like a big one. Some of these things I didn't buy, but then when you enter an art exhibitions, competition, things like that, sometimes it's art supply that you want. So I have a lot of these. I want to tell them, like, can you give me a coupon and I can just pick what I want, because I have many of these. But you see here, like these are some of the chips that they were dried up. It's dried up, and the chips, if you are not familiar with it, they come in a little box, all right? They come in a little box. They sometimes have even like rice paper wrapping, and then when you open it, then they are little chips. There's just little dry chips, and then you spray a little bit of water on it, and you melt it, and the color will come out, all right?
Yeah, I use the colored chips.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a personal preference, and the intensity of the colors. Some people prefer it like that because it is so concentrated, and but then of course it also depends on the control of color that you do on your brush as well, and certain colors the Western color is kind of like irreplaceable, like the stone green and things like that, but then I'm pretty liberal on my color usage. So one more thing that I want to show you are seals. Last time we have some question on seals. I'll just show you what I do, which I think is convenient. All right. When we buy a chop or a seal, a lot of times they come in a nice box. All right. So when you open it, then of course this is the chop, and they may have some engraving or things like that. But this is kind of like a pretty simple chop. But what I do is I have a piece of paper that has the seal chopped on it, right? And then not only that, I use a little bit of plastic so it would not be damaged. The reason why I have that is a lot of times, I mean, you know what your seal look like because it's yours. You have used it, you know how it looks like. But when you are deciding putting it onto a piece of artwork, you want to know how it looks like. So what I do is I always have one that look like this already, printed out. And for example, I have this artwork behind me. This is already finished, but this is already have a seal. But say for example, this is the portion of the artwork, then what I will do is I will put it here and then put it here. Then I will have an idea how would it look like if I place it here, right? It really makes sense. And for example, like here, I just recently did this. Sometimes when I buy various seals from different sources, they come in different sizes, and it's very hard to carry all of them. So what I did is I find a pretty big box, which is for something else. It's actually for a crystal sculpture. I took the things out. I want the box. Right? So what I did is I have the box, and I use some foam and like cut little square on it, like hole on it. So I put my seal on it. But what I did is on the top, I created what this seal will look like in here. So when I open the box, I know that this box have these sealed. Not only that, what I did is I have another extra piece of paper that have all these seals printed on it, and individually they have little plastic to cover them, so it would not be damaged easily. And rice paper, put the seal in it, and then cut it into little ones, and then store it with your seal. And because, as I say, I have different ones. So when you pick up this one is the word lock, and of course this is it. But then I have this little piece of paper. Then if I want to use it, I'll know how it looks like. And this is especially good when you are doing multiple seal. For example, this is my last name, and this is my first name. And then I want to, would they look good side by side, or would they look good top bottom or bottom top, and things like that. And then it also tell you how it looks like on the piece of artwork. All right, so this is what I'm sharing today. Any more questions and things like that? Because I think we are coming very close to the ending of today's chat. Good?
Thank you, Joan. It was very, very good.
Oh, okay. All right. So I will try to keep it every month, and you can still email me and ask me for informations and things like that. And so like that also wrap up our another cool sessions of our monthly chat. Right? Thank you. Yeah. By the way, I am activating a coupon for the holidays, $5 off, and I will email it to all of you. As a matter of fact, I think I'm trying different things. So you can tell all your friends, because it's not limited to the student. Anyone can use it. I mean, I just want to try different things to see if this is a good marketing or not. And there's no limit as well, meaning that it's $5 off if you sign up for the promo workshop. But if you want to do the rice crinkling workshop, you apply the coupon again, the coupon will still be valid. I mean, that's why I want to try it. So in a way, it's $5 off every single class, because if you sign up for multiple class, you know that it's like per class sign up is how the system is, so you have to click another one again in order to sign up for another class. So is you can just enter the coupon code again. And I test the coupon code with the Bull Heron, and Bill know because Bill applied it. Thank you. So it works. So like, let's see. I mean, unfortunately, I don't know how to apply for lesson that's already taken, because I'm still learning. I mean, I just learned how to mill oil. Okay, so I'm still learning. It's a process, but thank you everybody for joining me. And like in last month, what I'm going to do is I'm going to double check the recording, add the subtitle, and then I will post it, and hopefully within a few days. All right. So thank you everybody, and have a good weekend. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. That's very nice, Joan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
And tell everybody about the coupon. Encourage them to try it. Thank you.
Great. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye bye. Bye.